boys and girls?
Aloha. It's the wrong language.
It's not what they say on this island.
Damn, wrong island.
It's the Joystick show on a slightly different location.
Hell yeah! I think it's this is the first ever remote show. Like we haven't.
This is, yeah.
We've never done a show that hasn't been the studio, your basement.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now we are in an outdoor bar overlooking a beautiful pool.
Which you can't see.
Which you
but there's
cannot
a pool,
see.
There's a pool. We'll show you.
Because in true Joystick fashion, we did not find a single ounce of time where the sun was out to shoot this episode.
Correct.
You know, poolside with some beautiful views. But, you know, here, I'll just throw in some quick pictures and there you go.
Yeah.
Those are all the beautiful views of where we're at. But yeah, we're on the island of Puerto Rico.
Hell yeah.
Celebrating my 25th.
I mean, I'm just happy Joystick's gotten to this point.
Like we can afford this.
Yeah, like I would like to pretend that we actually, like we use the money we made from Joystick to, fund this vacation.
We used that whole 7 cents.
Yeah, the whole.
Also, Dylan's drinking some Medalla Light. This is the first time you've ever had an alcoholic beverage on the show. Look at that. Not for kids.
Yeah. Vacation when.
However, I'm drinking a fresh Capri Sun.
Yeah.
Before we get into the meat and bones of this podcast, which is pretty much going to be vacation related.
Honestly, 90% of it. Yeah.
Make sure to go ahead and like. Make sure to go ahead and comment. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe.
Yeah.
Click that bell.
Hell
all that good stuff. Even though we're in a different country, what is it, Commonwealth?
Yeah, it's a U.S.
territory.
Yeah.
YouTube rules still apply. So that's that. I forget we have 3 cameras because I'm the only fucking crazy person who brought 3 cameras
on a like a 5-day vacation.
So yeah, man, just been chilling. I wanted to shout out. I actually really wanted here in Puerto Rico. They sell these things called gasolina, which I've been drinking while we're out here. They're pretty much adult Capri Suns.
Yeah, 7 or 8% alcohol.
7% alcohol. Yeah. My favorite one is the sangria. It actually has no wine in it. It's rum with like
grape juice.
Pretty much. It tastes exactly like a Welch's.
It said acai
juice
on it, but I was like pretty sure this is just like Welch's with like.
It's exactly what it tastes like. We had it on because Dylan got here Thursday night.
Yeah, it was Thursday evening, Thursday night. Yeah.
And Thursday was my birthday, so before Dylan got here, in the daytime we went to the beach, and one of my cousins who's out here was basically like, "Oh, I can't wait to get my hands on this gasolina."
Yeah.
And we're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. You know, at first, I hear gas, I'm thinking maybe she's looking for some fire weed out here, possibly.
Is like,
and then we're also in Puerto Rico. There's the hit Daddy Yankee song. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. Yeah. But they sell these little like pouch juices. Obviously, this is a Capri Sun, but you can get them passion fruit and all kinds of fucking flavors, and they trash you because they taste absolutely like juice.
You're like, and then it's gone.
After
and
your
then
third pouch, you get out of the water, and you're like, oh, I'm moving a little to the left here.
Water drunk and beach drunk are like the 2 worst types of drunk you can be.
I think beach drunk is worse.
Beach drunk is worse because you're like not only on sand, but you're not where you're used to.
Yep.
It's like your balance is off.
You're getting fucked by waves.
You're dehydrated probably too because the sun's hitting you.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm so excited to talk about so many things, but we've got to pace this out. It's kind of a special episode because, like you said, it's our first time off studio. But it's also going to be a bit short because it's actually, what time is it now? It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning here. We actually have to leave tomorrow.
Yeah, so we got to...
Yeah. If you can pay attention to the background noises, you'll hear some of the beautiful indigenous coqui frogs here in
which I would have not known.
You didn't know that?
No, I mean, I knew that there was animals and wildlife and stuff like that, but hearing these sounds, my first thought would not be, oh, frogs.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
The coqui frogs are, they're one of my favorite things about Puerto Rico. They're like crickets. You know, you come out here and you hear them all day, all night. I think more often in the night.
Yeah, because they communicate.
Yeah. I also secretly love falling asleep to them.
It's peaceful. When I first got here, I was like annoyed for like an hour maybe, and then afterwards I was like, oh, this is wonderful.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Fantastic.
So what did we do this week?
Yeah, so I think we should start with you because you got here before me, right?
Fuck it.
So what have you been up to, right?
Oh yeah, sorry Joey and Jerry couldn't make it. They just didn't want to come.
I'm pretending that the chairs that the cameras are on are the chairs that Jerry and Joey would be sitting in.
Hey Jerry. Hey. Thanks for wishing me a happy birthday, asshole.
Thanks for coding.
Fucking we got here Tuesday night, like 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really late. We pretty much just like called it a night after that. It was kind of funny because my parents had been here since Saturday last week. So they had been here like 2-3 days extra. So when we got in, you know, it was really late. Everything's closed out here by that time. And my dad was just like, don't worry. We went to Little Caesars before. We got half a Little Caesars pie. Keep in mind, I don't even like Little Caesars.
But at 3 a.m. or whatever time it was, that's
2
luxury.
a.m., that's all you need, you know? Mm-hmm. We got back to the Airbnb, and there were, no joke, about 250 ants on top of the Little Caesars pizza.
Shit.
And that's when we learned we cannot leave food out.
Oh, word, yeah. That's...
Yep. So went to bed hungry that night. But Wednesday was, we're also out here for a wedding, which was on Wednesday. And holy fuck, what a wedding. Yeah, that was pretty fucking crazy.
From the little you showed me, I was like, damn, that's, goals, essentially.
To put some perspective in it, this wedding was actually supposed to happen in November of 2020, last year. But due to COVID, the wedding got canceled, and it got postponed to this week of 2021. Which was also the day before my 25th birthday.
Yeah.
So after we found out that, the trip was going to get postponed, we had to come back here a year later. My mom was like, let's just combine the two, And at first I felt a little weird because I didn't want to steal anybody's thunder. But then as soon as the bride, found out that it was my birthday, she was like, lit, we could party. Now we have extra stuff to do.
Yeah, the next day.
Fuck it, it's cool. But that wedding, man, so we're staying in Luquillo, Puerto Rico. Very, very close to El Yunque National Park, which we will get to soon.
Yeah.
But the wedding actually took place in a section of El Yunque, which is a rainforest here. So it was a really beautiful wedding. Something I'm
crazy.
Not used to at all. Just sitting in the lush greens and like I said earlier, hearing the cookies as they're giving their vows and stuff like that. The wedding ceremony was top notch, real pretty. The appetizers were done in this outdoor. It's a hacienda, that's the word. It felt like a chateau, though, with all the architecture. And
yeah. I envision it.
Yeah, it was really beautiful, and I guess, more pictures. Yeah. But the funny thing is after the ceremony was done and we went to the reception, there was so much entertainment. Don't get me wrong, I'm never gonna complain about some good old-fashioned entertainment, but, 4-hour open bar, 4-hour open coffee cart, gourmet coffee cart. They had a live salsa singer with a band that played both English and Spanish music.
Okay.
There was a full dance troupe that came out to perform 2 different cultural dance routines.
And there was stilts, right? Wasn't there?
We're getting to that.
Okay. Because I remember when I was hearing about this wedding, it was in pieces of stories. Yeah. So it was this person did this, and there was stilts. And I'm like, what?
So yeah, the bride is Puerto Rican. She's on my side of the family. And the husband, who we finally got to meet, is Dominican. Yeah. So they got this dance troupe to come in, and the wedding ended about 11 o'clock at night. So around 9:30-ish, the dance troupe came in, and they were wearing traditionally Dominican clothing, for the dance routine, and they did a Dominican dance number. Okay. So the girls came out in their costumes, the boys came out in theirs, and the wedding planners started giving out Dominican flags.
Okay.
So, we had a good time, da-da-da-da. And I remember going to my mom and thinking, maybe they're doing this for him since it's in Puerto Rico, a little bit of Dominican flair in there for his side. And then I remember messaging in the chat. I was like, bro, there's a fucking dance troupe, a DJ, a singer, a different band, a coffee cart, and I was being a dick. I was like, I'm just waiting for the magician to show up. I'm ready to see some motherfuckers juggle chainsaws or something. But in typical Puerto Rican fashion, wedding ends at 11. 10:55, the dance troupe comes back up. This time wearing Puerto Rican traditional clothes.
Okay, so now it's
part 2. It's the Puerto Rico part. Girls on stilts.
Okay.
Huge colorful costumes. They give everybody a Puerto Rican flag, and they do a different number. Salsa band comes out. Very cool, very fun. But then they started to hand out sparklers. These big, silver.
Not small.
No, not the little fucking. When you get the sparkler, some of it is handle and then the rest of it is the actual sparkler part? No joke, the sparkler part was about this big.
Wow.
And then the handle's about that big.
Okay,
so it's big, but most of it was the fucking sparkler.
Yeah.
They give it to everybody around the dance floor, and then a woman comes with a big lighter and starts lighting them 3, 4 at a time. And all the sparklers go off. And we're like, oh, this is great. And before the wedding started, the bride, my cousin, she was basically telling everybody table by table, do not fucking leave before 11. Stay the whole time. And she was very adamant about it.
Yeah,
I was
of course.
All right, cool. Sparklers are up. Puerto Rican dance troupe is doing their thing. We start to hear explosions And then we move into the middle of the dance floor and look up, and they had a full fireworks display. And I'm not talking about like, it was over our fucking heads. Yeah. These things were exploding for about 5 minutes. It was one of the most amazing, incredible things I'd ever seen in my life. And I can officially say I'll never top that.
And also just like to plan that, because usually when you have so many moving parts like that, usually something gets fucked up.
For sure.
Usually like someone falls, someone loses something.
And it was planned it was coordinated so fucking perfectly because like they had it down. First of all, these wedding planners had like their earpieces in, communicating. So it was like a fucking
you have to. Yeah, you have to make sure everything's going on.
Yeah, they were able to not only light the sparklers, keep them on at the same time. They timed it perfectly so that once all the sparklers were lit, at the crescendo of a certain song, that's when the fireworks display started. And we were just all like, holy shit. Like it was incredible. It was insane.
Yeah, perfect ending.
Yeah. But yeah, the wedding was awesome. Really, really great. Afterwards, we just went home, chilled, very tiring day. And then Thursday was the day of my birthday. We got up early, went to the beach. This is before Dylan. We went to Luquillo Beach. That was pretty hype. Trying to think of anything real special. Well, obviously it was my birthday celebration. I'm not trying to make it sound like that wasn't special, but it was pretty chill.
It was a blank location to have your to have a place.
Yeah. It was just really chill. Don't get me wrong. Everybody that was there was great. We had a great time. There's just nothing really overly over the top that happened.
No fireworks display.
No fireworks display. That was just the wedding. Yeah. It wasn't until you got here that shit started to get real interesting. I think before Dill got here, we were kind of like in relax mode besides the wedding, just really just chill, beach vibes, pool vibes. And then Dylan showed up and
everything went into overdrive, apparently.
We did it all. So Dylan showed up my birthday Wednesday, like
Thursday, it was
7 o'clock at night, right?
Yeah, it was Thursday, like 6-ish. Got an Uber from the airport. Really, my airport experience usually is bad. This was like amazing.
Yeah.
I remember hearing, and then I got out of the airport and I was like, oh, this is like, is this the airport? I walk down the stairs and I'm out of the airport. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So yeah, get in the Uber, get here. There's like the passcode thingy. So like your mom's trying to call me, but like,
oh my God,
I'm in a line of like 6 people anyway. So she's like, call, and I'm like, yes, Dad. I'm like, I'm not up there yet. She's like, okay, this is the code or whatever, right? And then of course, like you put the code in, nothing. You put the code in again. Finally, it rings, and then it's just some lady like, I'm like, what the fuck is this lady saying?
To explain what Dylan's talking about. We're staying at a beautiful Airbnb. This, like, you've probably seen pictures by the time I've talked about this, but beautiful. It has a couple of quirks that go part of it. One of them being we're in a gated community, and usually gated communities have gates.
Yeah, security.
This one has 2.
2 gates, 2 security pin numbers that are different.
So you have to like come in, you have to put in a 4-digit code. And then somebody comes in on a speaker that's fucking stupid. It doesn't work at all. It literally sounds like when people make
and this person's also in a different location. They have to telegram the thing.
It's not like the person in the security.
Yeah.
I think what it is, I'm not even fully sure. I think we're actually calling the owner of the house. And then she's letting us in from like some off-site location.
Yeah, it's fucking some secretive shit. We don't know how it works. All we know is that it doesn't fucking work.
All I know is after you put in the 4-digit code and get through the first gate, you've got to go to wait at a second gate, put in a 3-digit code, and basically wait for another person to let you in. And no exaggeration, every single day that I've been here, it has taken no fewer than 10 minutes to get inside.
Today was the first time.
We breezed right fucking in.
Yeah.
Which should have been expected, but yeah, pretty funny.
So yeah, I come in the fucking pool.
Yeah, that was fun, man. That night was just real like chill. We just fucking, we were in this pool for hours for sure. And then Friday happened. Holy shit. I'm still tired from everything.
Oh my God, Friday, yeah. So I don't think anyone, like, I knew, because, like, that was, like, the one thing I did look up. Like, I didn't look up much in San Juan. I didn't look up anything else. I only looked up that because that was the thing I knew we were doing.
Yeah.
And I knew right away, I was like, oh, this is going to be, I wouldn't say rough, but, like, oh, this is going to be, a hike. When people are like, oh, this is going to be a hike.
Yeah.
This was.
Yeah. We went to El Yunque, which we said earlier, national rainforest here in Puerto Rico, and we drove up the mountain and we did what was it? an hour and a half hike both ways, I think.
Yeah, it was 45 minutes each way.
Yeah.
And it was basically up one of the smaller mountains up until the peak where there is a tower.
And you go to the top of it and you get a very, very amazing view of...
Beautiful view.
Amazing view of the... Where are we? Like the northeast of Puerto Rico? Yeah. Northeast.
Yes. You're
so
right.
yeah, amazing views. Fucking... Long hike, though.
Yeah, to imagine what the trail looks like, it was paved, but, like, single file.
Yeah, that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
My cousin gave us the inside scoop and was basically like, it's not too crazy, you know, it's paved the whole way up, which it is, but, like, it's not wide enough for two people.
No, it's single rail, essentially.
It's quite literally, like, maybe 4 feet of space.
And it's also humid, so it's like slightly slippery and mossy.
Yep. There's parts you have to like hop over.
And then, just constant slight incline all the way up. Not too challenging, but you do get windy.
And especially that high elevation.
Yeah. It's not crazy high, but it's still a few thousand feet enough
Definitely.
But I would say fulfilling. That's my kind of thing.
I had a great fucking...
Huge props to Bobby's parents for doing that hike.
Definitely.
Real challenging.
Real props to my mom, honestly.
Yeah.
My dad is Mr. Marine. He's used to doing all that outdoorsy stuff. But my mom has been a super trooper this trip, especially since she's not had the best of luck. We'll get into that later, too. Let's finish El Yunque, though.
Yeah.
No, Yunque was great, man. My first real hike.
Oh, yeah. And then I wanted to go in the waterfall, but then I was, like, not wearing the right clothes, and I was like, ugh. But
you and Betta, though, have strong legs, so you guys were hiking up that shit pretty good. I was the one that was a few feet behind, huffing and puffing, trying to get my way up there. But yeah, we stopped on the way back down from when we made the peak. There was like a little 5-minute trail that takes you to this cool little like natural pool.
Falls kind of area, yeah.
Very cold though.
Oh yeah.
Made the decision not to jump into that one. But then we finished El Yunque, chilled out. We went to my friend's Airbnb, the family of the bride and the groom who got married. They have a really beautiful Airbnb where the back of their house literally leads out to the ocean.
Yeah, I cut my foot on one of those rocks.
A bit rocky, but beautiful nonetheless.
Oh, fantastic!
It's cool because you literally just like walk into the ocean, like stairs.
It's like the type of shit you see like in a movie, or like it's like you see like a vacation getaway commercial, and it's like people standing and like water. It's like that's what this was, and you could just like walk out. And it was,
for nothing, I put bug spray on every part of my body except my toes, and they bit me right in between my fucking toes.
Oh, that's the worst.
What an asshole.
Yeah, they find it. They're like, all right.
This is the one spot.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So many fucking mosquitoes out there.
Yeah, a lot of insects, for sure.
Fucking...
Nothing scary. Like, very small insects.
Yeah.
They'll wreck you, but they're tiny.
They
won't scare you.
But, after El Yunque, we just pretty much had a chill night. And then today, we did even more strenuous shit. We took a little 2-hour drive over to Aguadilla, which is on the western side of the island.
All the way across the island, essentially.
Yeah, but it was really cool because that's the part of the island that, like, my grandma's from. On top of that, like, the small cities, like, that you pass to it are also, like, the small cities that some of my uncles are from and things like that. So it's pretty cool just to kind of, like, see some of the history you hear about in family stories
for sure,
and shit like that.
Hearing all about that is amazing.
Aguadilla is beautiful. The beaches here on this side of the island are still good. They're great. But, I mean, the beaches over there are
they're just less beautiful, I would say.
Yeah. They're less beautiful. They're still amazing. They're way better than Rockaway or anything in fucking... or Manhattan Beach. But fucking, at the end of the day, the beaches at Aguadilla are just, like, postcard beaches. You know what I mean? Crystal waters, the beautiful looks up into the hills and shit like that.
Yeah, because you're coming down from a mountain. So you can, like, see overall.
Whereas here at Luquillo Beach, it's a nice beach, but it's literally, like, behind a bunch of kiosks and shit like that, where you can't even see the beach unless you, like, look past all that shit. But either or, both beach experiences were really great, but today I think took the cake. And then we took a 2-hour drive back from Aguadilla to do what, Dill? What did we just come back from?
Yeah, how the fuck do I describe this? Yeah, okay. So I did not know what this was. I mean, I knew, like, where we were going.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the path to get there was.
I don't think anybody quite knew, Dylan. So, Puerto Rico is home to 3 very beautiful bioluminescent bays.
Yeah, so essentially, as we learned, there are microorganisms that live within these
ecosystems.
Yeah, so essentially that when there is not a lot of light, you can then see the water light up.
Yeah, in the best cases scenarios, you know, there's not too much moonlight, and you know, in the most perfect conditions. Like my mom had even said it earlier because she'd been here before and she'd done it before. That when you look into the bayou. When you look into the bay, it's like bright, you know, you can see them under the water. In this case, it was more so like we had to actually go under a tarp.
Yeah, that shit, that was hysterical. It was like we kayak miles through fucking, so we'll talk about that,
Maybe we should get to that
So first off, we
knew we were going to a bioluminescent bay. We didn't really understand the challenge or the adventure it would take to get to the bay.
Okay, so first off, we have 5 people here, which means I gotta share a kayak with a random lady.
Dylan met somebody. Not only did Dylan meet somebody, Dylan met the one fucking person, not only from New York,
but from Queens.
But from like where we live practically.
Like within a couple of miles.
She's like, where are you from? And we're like, here. She's like, I live right there.
Yeah, fantastic.
But, so shout outs to you.
Yeah. And whatever her name was. It was like Cynthia. So Clarice was kayaking in front of me, and immediately it's like she's like screaming. She's like, left, right, and like of course it's like when you're in the back, it's like impossible
you're the one steering. You know, you have to kind of watch the person in front of you.
And then what I realized was that number one, I've kayaked before, and I'm also stronger than this lady, and I'm in the back, so I have way more pull on everything. But also, when she would yell, I would then do it harder by instinct, and then I had to explain that to her, and I'm like, don't yell, because when you yell, I'm like, ooh, and then we go all the way to the left, right? But yeah, after about like 10 minutes, she figured out how to do it. We got in sync. It was wonderful. We hit some branches. She got clocked in the head with a branch.
So like, it started off at a beach. You know, they have all the kayaks there. You sign the little fucking waivers and shit. And then you get on the kayak 2x2 and you follow like a line of, you know, the tour guide leader, and there's other people there to help you and shit. How many kayaks were we? Like maybe 8, 9 deep?
Yeah.
So, and that's not including the tour guides.
And not including other groups also going at the same exact time or 15 minutes earlier.
So keep in mind, like we said earlier, we had no real idea how this worked other than like what the end goal was. So it turned out we had to kayak from the beach like 5 minutes to a small channel in complete darkness.
Yes.
And you kayak down this fucking channel. Literally looks like some Jurassic Park river ride.
And also this channel also has many tree and branch debris from the hurricane last year. So that is also scattered throughout. So it's like jagged, like
you've
branches
got, like,
coming
branches
out at us.
Sticking out, head level, ready to fucking decapitate somebody.
Or just like leaves in general. I got a lot of leaves brushing through my afro.
And like Dylan mentioned earlier, we're not the only group there. There's probably like, we went on one specific tour with one specific company. There's probably like 8 other
There was one tour that had like 20 kayaks.
Yeah,
and I remember there was one point where like the people next to us got too close to the branches. So they like used us to push off, pushing us immediately into the group of like 15 people. So it says like kayak, and I'm like, and immediately I just I'm like, I'm not getting hit by 15 kayaks
fucking no, the whole gist was like we were the green squad, so all of the lights on the front and back of our kayaks were green. So the second you see anything that's not green and pitch black, you're like, oh shit, here we go. Because you know you have like 20 purple kayaks, 20 red kayaks, 20 white kayaks.
Like, just do this real quick.
Fucking bouncing into you. It's insane. But no, we finally got to like that clearing, and it was beautiful, man. You go out into this wide, expansive fucking body of water. And then what was mad cool is the guy was explaining to us that like in the area we were technically situated in between like 7 different ecosystems.
Yeah.
It's considered like a historic, not a historic site, but like a science site.
Like preservation. Yeah. And I mean, you know, even though I'm not like, that's not the thing I'm really into, I love that kind of educational shit.
For sure.
So when he was explaining that, I'm like, oh, that's sick. And he's like, oh, they have a lifespan of 5 days. They can recreate. I'm like, damn, 5 days. Damn, bro.
Die quick.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, if they're frozen and then get unfrozen, they come back to life and continue their life. I'm
for
like,
2 extra days. No, fucking and then like we said earlier, since it was, the moon was really beautiful, but unfortunately since the moon was so bright, it makes it harder to see those organisms under the water. Mm-hmm. So we're like 9, 10 kayaks huddled together in the middle of this lagoon, and then they start, no joke, they unravel this gigantic tarp that we just put on top of all of us. So I guess if you were looking from the outside in, you would just see like a black dome.
Yeah, which you wouldn't even be. I mean, you wouldn't even be able to see because it's like so dark, right? Yeah. It's like super, super. Like even when he was like pointing out, he's like, as you can see, there's palm trees over there, and I'm like, is there?
But yeah, it was hard to see that shit. But yeah, you run your hands under the water and you can definitely see like I guess I would just expect. I guess I was expecting them to be more like colorful, but there you definitely just see like these lights just like flickering on and off.
I mean, it kind of just like it's like sparkles almost. Yeah. Kind of like it.
Did you notice it on the way back, like in the channel? I thought they were way better there actually.
Yeah. Because it's especially when there was like a point where like a guy. Like, he's like, I remember one of the tour guides, he was like, oh no, they're here too, and he moved his thing, and they were there.
He was saying, like, they move up the channel or some shit like that. But,
very cool.
That was really cool, yeah.
Love some educational shit.
I was saying, like, even though, like, honestly speaking, even if we got there and it sucked, like, they were not even active, I just thought that whole little kayak trip was fucking sick.
I thought it was, like, it's a really cool excursion.
Yeah, first off, I've never been kayaking at night. Secondly, I've never been kayaking with a large group like that. And then thirdly, to go through, like, I know we said all that shit about the channel being, like, slightly dangerous and all that stuff, but it was really beautiful.
No, it was really cool, especially on the way back, because it's like, since they said it was low tide, the current was pulling you, pushing you out, so you kind of only had to like control yourself. You didn't have to like actually paddle, and it was like really nice.
And it was even cool just to like come back from the trip and then come out of the channel and see like the beach again and all like the expansiveness of the ocean, because you're like, oh shit, we were literally on this little side thing, and then it literally like leads out into the ocean, you know? Yeah, that was fucking awesome. And now we're here. And now we're here.
Oh yes.
Did you have a good time?
Oh yeah, of course. And tomorrow I'm gonna be doing some little exploring on my own.
Yeah, we leave earlier than you, but you're gonna be in San Juan.
I'm gonna be in San Juan. I got a museum tour I'm gonna book in.
That's actually pretty dope. Yeah. San Juan's beautiful too. There's a lot to check out.
Oh yeah, and I know some of like the older ruin stuff I wanted to check out. Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to see.
And also, I'm sure my parents want like souvenirs, and I want to buy stuff for some people.
Well, that's a perfect place to do it too.
Yeah.
San Juan is definitely like the hub. It's also just the most, I think, urban city in Puerto Rico, for sure. Yeah, my mom's been a trooper. So the day of my birthday, we rented a car, and my mom was getting into the car, and she banged her head into the top frame of it so hard she knocked herself unconscious. We actually thought she was concussed. We were very concerned because she was very dizzy and shit like that. But super trooped it out. Thankfully, she's okay now. She's been back on her feet. But then if that's not enough, like later in the night, she went to open something with her teeth and cracked one of her teeth.
Oh my god.
So I feel like this has not been the luckiest of vacations for my mom.
No, and all within a couple hour span too, right?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. She felt, I knew she was going to feel that way too, but she felt worse that it was like on my birthday. But I had to like sit her down and be like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, like, I just care that you're not dead.
Just
like,
please
that's
be okay, and then we can go to
about.
the beach whenever. Like, I don't even like the beach that much.
Exactly, yeah.
And I thought that was funny too, because like, I don't think it's any surprise. I'm not really a beach person per se, but like put me in the Caribbean, put me on a vacation, you can't get me out of the water. Like I'm always the first person in and the last person out.
Oh, 100%. It's just, it's part of like the vibe too, and it's super hot.
Yeah.
Also.
It's beaming out here. Yeah. Because I remember before we came out here, I was checking like the weather app and all that stuff, and it was saying that it was going to be like a pretty consistent like 80 degree here. But then, we're also so used to New York that you don't really remember what 80 degrees is. So.
No, like, I knew that it was going to be, like, my parents reminded me.
Yeah.
Like, when I was packing, they're like, Dylan, Puerto Rico is hot. And I'm like, I know.
See, I thought it was just going to be, like, warm.
Yeah, and then I got here, and it was, like, 87, 88, 87. I'm like, what?
The sun is just, like, fucking
and it's humid.
You.
It's like, oh, hi.
Oh, very humid, definitely. That's the place for it. I think it's also funny that my camera's on a tripod, like, a foot away from... just dying in that pool. Like, you can't see it, but it's fucking dangerously close
it's
to
like right there, yeah.
Like, if there was a strong gust of wind, That'd be the end of the Joystick show for a long while.
Or at least the end of the Puerto Rican episode.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, man. Did you have a good time on
Oh, 100%.
This is the first time Dylan and I have ever really been on, like, a real vacation.
A real vacation. We went on, like, a 2-day trip.
Been on a
3-day
couple
trips.
little 2-day, 3-day trips, but, you know, first time out of the country like this.
What's next? That's my big question.
Honestly, that's what mine is, too. I had a great time.
Because if we pick a really cool place, I'm pretty sure it's not just us two, you know?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Like, I enjoyed myself to the fullest on this trip, but I definitely wanted more. I don't think... Because, you know, we technically been here for 5 days, but we flew in at, like, 1 in the morning, and we're leaving tomorrow, like, 9 in the...
You flew in at night, you're leaving in the morning.
Exactly.
2 of your days were essentially events.
A wedding. Yeah.
A wedding and then your birthday, where it's like, even though you didn't do, like, a full-on thing, it was still, like, everyone coming to you.
Yeah,
but
and, like, part of me still wanted to go do stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, great fucking time, but I feel like everybody here wants to revisit because, you know, there's a lot to offer here, especially on the other side of the island.
Oh, I mean, it's just, you have a whole island.
Yeah.
You know, and every little town has, like, their own thing, too, that you could go, you know.
For sure.
Fantastic.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Do I gotta pick, like, I know it's not time for it yet.
You definitely do.
But fuck,
Definitely.
man.
I have a jam. I'm not gonna fucking... You think we're gonna do an episode of the fucking Joystick show and not do a jam in the end?
No, of course not. Yeah. I'll pick this.
What if I spin it on you? Dylan, it has to be Spanish.
Oh, okay, gasolina.
You know what's funny? I actually wanted one of those because Dylan's drinking. This is like the beer of choice here in Puerto Rico. Like if you want beer, you can only get Medalla. That's pretty much it. But I actually wanted one of the gasolinas, but I think we ran out. So I had myself a Capri Sun. Not really a beer drinker, so.
I mean, it's pretty not good.
It's not that it's not good. It's just like. You know when you buy like Coors Light to play beer pong and shit like that? That's what this is.
Yeah, I'm essentially.
It's not like an amazing beer. It's just like it's a beer.
You're drinking it.
Exactly.
It's good, you know, but.
Yeah.
Great
I think
stuff.
It's about jamming you in.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would just like to say that Puerto Rico. I mean, I'm definitely coming back at some point.
As your first time, what do you think, buddy?
I mean, it's like amazing. So much potential too. Like I know that like back in like the '80s or some shit, this was like the hypest thing. It had to be
pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID, pre-hurricane. Yeah, and then I just know that like hopefully America like Puerto Rico becomes a state, and gets a lot more funding, and I think that'd be really cool because there's a lot of potential.
See, here's my thing about Puerto Rico becoming a state. I want it to. But 50's such a nice number, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then they're going to add DC, and that's 52.
No, see, it should be... See, if we add Puerto Rico, we got to get rid of a state. I say Florida, we cut it off, and then we just let it drift, and then it can become like one of its own Caribbean islands, you see?
Okay,
mad easy.
No, we let Texas secede, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's down to 49.
Got it.
North and South do a collab.
Okay.
Carolina and Dakota. Now we have room for 3 states.
That's not bad, actually.
Yeah. So now we got Puerto Rico,
Guam,
Guam, American Samoa, and the Virgin Islands. We put them in like a fight. We make like a March Madness bracket. It's like, who wants to be a fucking state? And everyone's like, no.
No, we're fine.
We're good.
Oh man, nah, it's not my first time. I am Puerto Rican, but the last time I was here, I was 10 years old.
So yeah, you can't even appreciate it as much.
Not even that. We were at a resort. So
that's not even the same thing, yeah.
It was beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it was way different this time to be able to drive around the island, to eat at different spots.
And that's also another thing, like when I go on vacation other places, I want to, I would hate to stay at a resort. Even though you have the amenities there, it's like it's not the same experience. You're not really visiting the country, you're visiting a resort.
Exactly.
You're visiting, I'm visiting Mohegan Sun or whatever,
And I feel like there's nothing wrong with staying at a resort too, but I feel like you have to go to a resort knowing, like, you're going in that resort mentality. Like, you have to want it, and that's perfectly fine.
You have to want it and be in that chill mode.
Me and Beto were just talking about how I think next on our list is we want to do that. We want to trip, because, we've done so many of these, like, Airbnb trips where you go out, you get food, and you're kind of, like, on your own type thing.
Yeah.
That it would be very relaxing to be in a resort where you have,
all-inclusive,
room service.
People come to the beach,
Perfect.
I remember... one of the last big vacations I went on with my family was Universal. But we stayed at Hard Rock Hotel, not Master Suite, but like one of the nicer suites there. And my parents just had they were like in their best time, and me and my brother just went on
That's so sick.
Shit. So like that kind of vibe, I'll always get that.
I found out about that hotel specifically? out of all of the Universal Studios, because it's a resort in Universal, but it also has like 3 other resorts because we went.
Yeah, it has like the Lowe's ones and stuff too.
Not only is that one is considered like the premier resort, so people who stay at that resort actually get the express pass for the park for free. Kind of fucking nuts. Yeah. Wish I had that shit.
I met Chris Bosch at that hotel, so I'm pretty sure there's a lot of like.
That's your prime elevator celebrity story right there.
There's other ones though. I worked in an elevator.
Has its ups and downs. I'll never forget when I first asked Dylan. I was like, "How's the elevator gig going?" And he said, "It has its ups and downs." I think I laughed for 10 minutes.
And I was like, "It's not funny." I heard it. The first time I heard it, I was like, that's creative. And then the person went, nah, you probably heard that 100 times. And I'm like, I haven't. Next person that walked in the elevator was like, it has its up and I just looked at the guy and I was like,
shut your fucking mouth.
I was like, get out. I was like, make a better joke and I'll pick you up.
Alrighty, I think it is jam and yam time.
It is.
I'm currently using my phone for this lovely lavalier microphone here. But I think I do remember the name of my song. Actually, let me just clarify. Let me get the info if I can.
So I'll go first. And my song of the week, the Yam, is Bones Rest by Rory 404.
Nice.
Very good artist. Kind of like, imagine like hyper pop, but like hints of like emo pop punk.
All right.
So good vibes overall. I think he's like 17, 18. But yeah.
Dope.
Good vibes.
I'm gonna go with a new Reid song. He's back, baby. Called Supa Dupa.
It's good.
Pretty chill, yeah. It's actually, you expect the Reid song to be a little bit more like hypey or whatever, but this was more laid back, more chill.
Yeah, well, I just expected, like, I remember when I first heard Reid, I was like, do I hate this or love this?
Right?
Like, when I heard it.
It is a thin line, and I'll admit it.
Because it's kind of, like, tongue-in-cheeky. It's, like, a little, like, he's eccentric too much.
Exactly. He has, like, the humoristic line and shit like that. But I mean, in my opinion, it's a lot different from like a lot of the shit on the radio now, which isn't bad either, but it's refreshing. I like it.
It definitely gets it.
It reminds me of like older Eminem and shit like that.
Oh, definitely old Eminem vibes, without a doubt.
So for sure, yeah. Look at that little Puerto Rican jam. It has nothing to do with Puerto Rico.
No,
but
that's the fucking copyright it, fucking trademark.
Yeah, Puerto man. Thanks for watching. Make sure to go ahead and do all that stuff we said at the beginning. Make sure to go ahead and like, subscribe. Bit of a shorter episode because, like we said, it's later. And,
it's late. We got to wake up for a flight and stuff. So.
But we didn't want to miss out the opportunity. We still wanted to do our job. Sorry about any of the technical issues. If it's a bit dark, if the sound is off, we're not. Cookie frogs. We're not really in studio, but that'll all be better by next week when we're back home. Hopefully with our other boys.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. That's a fat maybe.
Maybe.
And.
Yeah, everyone comment below, like, where you've gone on vacation, right? Or, like, where you want to go.
Maybe some recommendations for where our next trip will be, I'm very excited to figure that out, too. But without further ado, thanks for joining us, friendos. And do you have anything to say?